What's up, I'm Joe. It's Project for Awesome time once again, which means it's time to flood the front page of YouTube with all kinds of different charities, but you knew that already because you're here, which means you've probably been watching charity videos for a while, and if so, thank you for doing that, and if not, welcome to the stream. Also, the rest of you, if you're watching this later, you're also welcome. Anyway, I'm really glad you're here because I wanted to talk to you today about my favorite body part. They actually come in pairs. They're made mostly of fat, and they're really important for human attraction. Everyone says their moms are always the best. I'm talking, of course, about the brain. More specifically, what happens when things go with it. The human brain is just incredible. It's so good at things that it can do things that it can't even understand that it can do. It's probably the coolest thing. End of sentence. And it's precisely because it's this delicate, elegant, beautiful mishmash of neurons and lobes and wibbly wobbly gray stuff that things can go wrong. And when something is, quote, wrong with your brain, it can be a huge, life-changing deal. And for millions and millions of people, mental illness is their reality, whether they're dealing with schizophrenia or anxiety or depression or ADHD or any of a number of many different things that we are only just beginning to understand. I mean, if the brain can't even normally understand what it can do well, it's way harder to grok when things go wrong. And the refocusing on treating mental illnesses as illnesses has led to all kinds of great, amazing social improvements and inclusions and opportunities for people who are just dealing with the way their brains are working. There is still a stigma attached to mental illness in our society, but that is changing. The more we find out and the more we learn, the better we understand how and why brains go. And one of the organizations helping to lead the charge on this is the Brain and Behavior Research Foundation, or What the BBRF does is it gives grants to researchers who want to study any of a number of various mental illnesses. But the really big thing is that they give grants to independent researchers, meaning people who don't have their own, corporate lab or something like that. And that is huge for science in general. Now, corporate research has led to all kinds of amazing advancements as well, but corporations tend to try to research things that they can then turn into a product. But independent researchers, if they don't want to be researching that, and they just have this great idea for something that, maybe this is how this works, but I don't know how I would sell it, they don't have to. They just go to the So it's independent researchers getting access to a bunch of resources that they would normally not have access to, if not through the BBRF, and then taking those resources and using them to try and figure out what is really going on with depression. Now, this is Project for Awesome, which is about charities, and when you think of charities, you don't necessarily think of the associate professor at your college as one of those in need. But the creation and cultivation of an independent scientific community that is full of brains researching other brains to figure out what makes those other brains do things differently than other brains is huge. We are literally talking about the pursuit of happiness, and it's not so much the researchers that we're trying to support here as those that they're trying to help by discovering what is it that's going on in the brain of someone with anxiety or schizophrenia or bipolar or anything. So that when somebody does say, I wonder what the interplay is between bipolar disorder and PTSD, BBR. Or exactly what is unique about a brain on the autism spectrum, BBR. Or what does adult ADHD look like, BBR. Or what are the best new therapies for anxiety, BRB. BBR. So the Brain and Behavior Research Foundation is creating these amazing scientific opportunities to learn more about mental illness, in addition to funding new technologies and diagnostic tools and next generation therapies, also that our brains can understand what other brains are braining about so that those brains can be better at being brains. Thanks for sticking around and letting me put some of the thoughts from my brain into yours. I hope you have a great Project for Awesome and that you consider supporting some of the awesome research that's going on through the Brain and Behavior Research Foundation. 50 XP for watching. Don't forget to be awesome.